Welcome to Unbreakable Mind 44 here in super sunny Spain. We're going to do a VO2 Max session, which is 44 minutes long, and we're going to incorporate, as always, some mental strength training into it. So let's get ready, and 3, 2, 1, go. 44 minutes has started, and as soon as we start the timer, we get moving. You can do jumping jacks, run in position, whatever you need to do, as long as you can hear what I'm about to say, because I'll run you through the training program for today. All good? Thumbs up? Excellent. Yes, I am wearing a very sexy hat today, which is a gift from myself from Bwindi National Park, where I've been looking at gorillas the last week, which was an amazing experience. And part of what we're going to do today has been inspired by that gorilla trek. Because here's the thing, the difference between us and gorillas are 2%. There's 2% difference in DNA between sitting in a bush eating leaves and being all of this, one of the most developed animal on the planet in the history of the planet. So if you can figure out the difference, the 2% difference in between, where you want to be and where you are, then chances are that little difference is life-changing. It will be everything you want and everything you need in life. And I think 2 of those percent, part of that is this training, because VO2 Max, or the ability to take up oxygen from the air, shove it in our face, shove it into our lungs, and feed our muscles, it's the #1 predictor, or one of the biggest predictors of longevity, health, and athletic success. And you've heard me say this before, and it's because it's so important. And the reason why we do it on a Monday, well, it's simple. You do the most important things first. So if this is one of the most important sessions, and Monday is the first day of the week, and everybody who says Sunday is the first day of the week, you're all wrong, okay? It's Monday, everybody knows this. All the civilized people already know this. I'm just kidding, guys. But yeah, so that means we do the most important things first. That means a VO2 Max session at the beginning of the week. That's what we're going to do today. We're going to do 15 minutes of warm-up. Yep, 15 minutes. It's a real warm-up. And then we're going to go into 5 rounds of all-out sprints. You can do burpees. You can do assault bike, my favorite. Or you can do, like I'm going to do today, run on this round, horrible course in 32 degrees or 85 Fahrenheit. Nobody really knows what that is, actually. Anyways, fun fact, when NASA shot up a rocket into space and it exploded, or a shuttle into space and it exploded, to try to figure out what happened, and turned out there was a conversion error between Fahrenheit and Celsius, or metric and imperial, and it just blew the thing literally out of space. So stick to metrics. Tip number 2. Okay, back to the session. Warm up is going to be 5 minutes of what are we doing now? Just a mental jog, physical jog, just get a little bit going. Then 5 minutes of medium intensity, and then 5 minutes of medium to high intensity, and then we go into the 5 rounds of 2-minute intervals. So we're going to go 2 minutes hard, 2 minutes recovery, 2 minutes hard, 2 minutes recovery, etc. for 5 rounds. Make sense? Thumbs up, you're with me? Great. Last time we did 1 minute. Before that, we did 4 minutes. But the idea here is to accumulate as much time as possible in as high heart rate as possible. That's why I'm wearing my little chest belt here today, because I'm a numbers nerd to some extent. Well, I like to collect them and analyze them, but to be honest, mostly I collect them. Maybe I'm a metrics hoarder, which I'm, we all have our vices, and that's fine, I guess. All right. Okay, we want to really get all the legs, the upper body, everything going here, because it's a full body exercise, even though we're going to do running. And it doesn't really matter what type of exercise you do, as long as it targets your heart rate. So if you're going to do burpees and your arms burn out first, and you can't really get your heart rate up, then you got to skip whatever it is that's your constraint. So maybe you just do squats instead of a full burpee, or you do jumping squats just to get your heart rate up. Same if you're on the assault bike and you feel your arms is getting too tired, then do more legs. And do whatever you can to get your heart rate up. That's the important thing here now. And I usually ask you for push or cruise, but today there's only push. So if you want to get VO2 max, you need to get up as high as you can. And if you're not healthy enough, or you're not injury-free right now, then what you should do instead is just do the repetitions or do the sets that we're going to do, but you're going to do them with a focus on technique. So if you're running, you're going to do interval training, but you're going to do it focused on technique. So you might go medium fast and just make sure that your technique is perfect. If you're doing burpees, just do technique as well. Assault bike, maybe more difficult to do technique, but I think you get the point. I don't want you to skip it just because you're not where you want to be. Instead, lower the intensity and focus on technique. Sounds good? Thumbs up. Excellent. Okay, 5 minutes has passed already. We're 1/3 into the warm-up. Now we're going to go into medium intensity. Now I want you to go running, biking, or whatever it is, for 5 minutes, uninterrupted, with the intent of getting your heart rate up. So you're starting sweating, you're getting really warm, but I don't want you to put on lactic acid. Okay, so for 5 minutes, starting in 10 seconds, that's what I want you to do. Get your heart rate up, avoid lactic acid, don't get too tired, and I shall see you again in 5 minutes. Okay, and I was kidding, it's actually 20 seconds left to make sure we're doing this properly. All right, and the idea here is also to go from either yellow zone or green zone, sorry, either red zone or green zone into yellow zone. Yellow zone is focus, ready to attack. That's where you want to be. Okay, 3, 2, 1, go run. Enjoy. Excellent job, guys. You have a few more seconds left, 30 seconds left until this round is over and we start the next one. Good job. Great form. Yes. So if you're running and a long distance running, you want to have like 180 in cadence. That means 180 steps per minute. If you go slower than that, then you're not using the bouncing of your muscles. Let's put it that way. It's not a very accurate way of saying it, but if you go slower, you have to kind of lift yourself up. But if you run when it's almost like tapping, tap, 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 you're going to be bouncing. It is way more efficient. So yeah, that's a good question. So keep it around 180 during this. And I mean, the faster we go, the faster cadence as well, usually. Okay, that's the first round of warm-up. Now we go into the second round. We're going to go third round, medium to high intensity. You're going to do intervals now, where you move from, like I'm doing now, a little bit out of breath to really out of breath. But you don't want to go so far so you get lactic acid or it's burning everywhere. So the pace you want to keep is there's a lot of right now. The pace you want to keep is so high that you can articulate a few words. Maybe, hey, how are you doing? And then you got to take another breath. So if you can speak long sentences, you're going too slow. If you can't speak at all and you're about to die, you're going too fast. So it's still warm up, and I want to go out there and do another 5 minutes where you go jogging, increase to hard intensity, and then go back down again and increase. The intervals can be 10 seconds, 20 seconds, whatever you need to get going. But that's as simple as that. And once you come back, you're going to be completely sweaty, your heart rate is going to be high, you're going to be ready to freaking go. Because we're going to enter the arena and we're going to slay demons today or monsters today. What do you think? Either way, we're going to go get it done. Okay, so 5 seconds, and then I want you to head up. 3, 2, 1, go. 5 minutes. While you're on this run now, I want you to think about what's coming up next. I want you to think about, okay, where am I getting tired in my legs? Where am I going to get tired in my body? And give those things a name. Give those things make them into something tangible, because the most difficult monster we have is the one we cannot see. Those are the most dangerous. If we can see the monster, if we can see the enemy, if we can see whatever's coming up, that abstract creature goes from being something we can't understand, something we can't see, something that is tangible, something we can manage. And the beauty of that is if we can see what it is, then we can find its weaknesses and we can break through and we can conquer it. But if we let that monster become unknown, we don't know what's coming up, it's really hard to deal with it. So that's what I want you to do. Once you're doing this medium to high intensity, feel where it's getting hard. Feel what thoughts are coming up. Listen to that and prepare later on to deal with them, right? But the first step now during your runs, you're doing hard runs, is to see the enemy, see the monsters, or see the challenges, so we later on can attack them, because we're going to go full out, all in on this one. And this is a mind game. So I told you before, you're going to go really hard for a long time, and it's full out, which is the mind game, right? You came here for mental strength. That's what I'm going to deliver. Okay, do your last repetitions, and I'll see you here in a few minutes. See ya. Okay, 20 seconds left, or 19 seconds left, and get back in, get some recovery, 15 seconds. And time. Okay, recover. Get back into position. Calm your breathing down. You can try the box breathing method. Breathe in, hold, out, hold, breathe in, and keep moving. If you want to walk, bike slow, whatever you need, just keep going a little bit. We want 44 minutes of movement. Okay guys, great job. Now you should be warm. Now you should be getting like, whew, maybe even a little bit scared because you know what's coming up. But you now also know what enemies you are facing. And I think that's the cool part, because now you know where it burns, heart, legs, or whatever. Now you take those things, you take your heart, you take your thoughts, and I want you to visualize them as a creature. Something, either something that you want to make friends with, or something that's a monster. If you make friends with it, I like to do it in a fun way. You know, I give them like a funny name. I like Bob. Bob can't injure me. I just want to make friends with Bob, right? So give them a name, give them a visual, or you give the monster. You give the monster a visual, give the monster a name. And the better you can be, then you make that heart rate or that burning sensation in your legs, you make that monster. So next time you see that monster, when we're doing our intervals, you will notice that monster and you will say, okay, here you are. I knew you were coming. I know how to deal with you. And then you pick a solution to the problem. So if it's your heart rate, and it's about your heart is about to pop out of your butthole, and that heart rate thing is represented by some type of monster. You know, when you see it, when you feel it, you say, okay, oh yeah, I got it. This here, I need to apply my breathing patterns. So if you're going really fast, then you probably don't want to go breathing through your nostrils. You probably want to go something like when you go really fast, okay? So now you have your monster, you have the thing that's going to come up for you, you have a tool. Now you do that with all the other things. The feeling in your legs, okay, I'm getting super burning in my legs. What am I going to do? Yes, I'm going to focus on my weapon for this is I'm going to focus on my running form, or just relaxing in everything that is not needed to propel me forward. Does that make sense, guys? Thumbs up if it makes sense. Okay, excellent. While you jog in place, while you move around a bit, you need to visualize those things. You need to create up a solution to them, because we're going to implement that in a few minutes. So in 2 minutes, we're going to take off for our first round of 2 minutes high intensity interval. Sorry, you have 1 minute and 20 seconds left to figure out your monsters, attach a solution to them, and prepare for what's coming up during the intensity interval. Make sure you drink a bit and cool down if it's needed, if it's horribly warm as it is here. 1 minute. Thirty seconds. Great job. You should have your monsters ready. You should have your tools ready. And if it's too much, just pick one monster, pick one tool, and be ready to implement it during the next run. 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Get off. 2 minutes run, 2 minutes assault bike, and see you here in a little bit. Enjoy. and time. Whew. Good job. 2 minutes of recovery. So they did studies on this, and they compared people who did active recovery, as it's called. You know, you move around, you keep running a bit, and then they compare that to people who just do nothing, like what I'm doing right now, just moving around a little bit slowly. And they realized people who just did that, who did nothing, they just like stroll or sit down even, perform better. That's not certain that you will, but it's interesting considering a lot of the tips you'll get is, you know, stay active, you gotta get the, you know, residues out of your body, blah, blah, blah. Seems like our bodies are so good figuring that crap out always, so we shouldn't complicate it. So just walk around a bit, breathe, and get ready for the next session in 55 seconds. Now you know the monster, you know what you need to do, now it's just time to implement it. We have slayed one monster, and we have how many left? Anybody remembers? Yes, correct, 4. So in 30 seconds, we're gonna attack monster number 2. Monster number 2 might be the same, but remember the tools and either go out there to kill it or make friends with it. But when it happens, don't panic. Don't think, okay, what am I gonna do? And don't just push through it. Use the tools. The box breathing, or whatever type of breathing you need to do to get it done. Or distract yourself from the situation, move yourself to the finish line, and get over the pain. We're gonna go in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, enjoy. And time. Recover. Great job, guys. Woo. That's a rough one. That would be monster number 2. Okay. For me, it burns in my throat and in my chest. That's the monster I'm facing. I try to control that or mitigate that by breathing. And one mistake I see quite often is that people, when they get out of breath, they breathe through the nose, which doesn't make any sense. Breathing through your nose limits the oxygen, and when you're going full out, you want as much oxygen as you can. If you want to calm yourself down, then you can breathe through your nose. But if you need the maximum amount of oxygen, you need the biggest pipe to your lungs, and that goes through your mouth, aka the pie hole. So remember that. You can still calm down your breath, but you want to make every breath deep and with a lot of good oxygen. And now you should be relaxing, calming down, and you feel like you're ready to go again. When you're doing this on your own, guys, don't worry about the minutes so much. Worry more about getting down in breathing and relaxing. So if you need 3 minutes in the future, take 3 minutes, because every round needs to be high quality. We need to be really ready to go. 20 seconds left. Take some deep breaths. Relax. Great. 10 seconds. Visualize your monster. Visualize the person you want to make friends with. Prepare your tools. 3, 2, 1. Enjoy. Nice. Good job. This one's tough. That should be round 3, according to my calculator I have here that I got from NASA. It might look like 3 straws laid on the ground, but it's way more complicated than that. And there's a secret to it. Actually, there's not. It's just the thing that when we go so hard, we want to have supported systems in place. One of them is focusing on the main activity, which is beating the monster. So if I can create a little calculator on the floor here, so I don't have to think about that, great. Remember, this is the 2% workout. That's the difference between eating leaves in the jungle and being the planet's, or the history of the planet's, most civilized animal. Whether you think that's a good thing or not, we are at least technologically advanced. Good job. 50 seconds. It's round 4. You know the monster, you have your tools, it's all about implementation. If you're like most human beings now, you realize that at the end, your body's telling you to slow down a bit. And maybe it's, or you forget about running hard. This is the time to really put your tools to use. Make sure you focus on the task, the one task that you have to do now. Nothing else on the planet matters. We just have to do this thing. So we're practicing staying focused, even when it's hard. We're practicing physical resiliency, mental resiliency, and all packed into this exercise. So if you think you can just go here and do the thing and get the benefits, you'll get some of it. But this is really a good challenge for the mind and for the body. 3, 2, 1, enjoy. Whew. That was round 4. And now you should be feeling like it would be better to be dead. Something like that. I'm kidding, of course. There's nothing better to be alive if you're doing it correctly. Even if life sucks, it's a very good place to be. Even if people keep telling you there's just so much crap going on the history of this planet, there haven't been so few wars. I know this doesn't make sense to you, but have a look at the statistic if you don't trust me. So few wars. For example, Sweden used to be 10 different small nations all fighting each other. Sweden is now one, together with the European Union, which there are 0 physical violence in between our countries. So that's just one example. And then you expand that to all the states of the US, to almost every part of the planet. There are exceptions, yes, but remember, this is probably the best time to be alive. And even if you think it isn't, it doesn't really matter, because this is the one we got. So let's keep doing the work. Let's push through this thing and be happy that we got all this going for us. Nice. We got 40 seconds, then we're on the next round. You know the enemy, or you know who you need to make friends with. You have one more round now, and your head is going to tell you to slow down. Your body's going to say it's tired, and you're going to start thinking about excuses. Maybe not consciously, but at least subconsciously. And that's the thing we're focusing on right now. You just got to focus on the tools we have, implementing them, and moving forward. This is a focus exercise, physical resilience exercise, mental resilience exercise, and this is a very fast step, or strong step, towards the unbreakable mind that we're all here to build. And the good part never ends. It's this all the way till our last day on the planet. All right, 3, 2, 1, enjoy. Oh wow, good job, recover. Whew. I'm wrecked, and I hope you are too, in a good way. Okay, time to recover. Take deep breaths. If you can, and you want to, hold it at the top. Hold it at the bottom. Otherwise, just take control of your breath. Calm it down as fast as you can. Relax your shoulders, relax your hips, everything, just let go. Good. Now, congratulate yourself. You did 5 rounds of slaying or making friends with your enemies. Either way, great job. There's only one step left. That is to cool down and also do the debrief. If you know me by now, I don't really do any stretching. If I want to get more flexible, I change the way I move in my everyday. You already know this if you're inside Unbreakable Mind. But that's another day, another topic. So now, calm your breath down, relax. 10 seconds, breathe, keep moving, walking, running, whatever. And you should feel your heart rate going down now, really dipping down. It should feel like, oh, I didn't really do anything. If you're getting that feeling, like you could just go again, then you're in a good spot. Then you're pretty fast at recovering, which probably means you're pretty good physical condition, or at least not incredibly terrible condition. If your heart rate is still elevated and it refuses to go down, that's fine too, but that's probably a strong indicator that there's something more, that's something you need to do way more of. If that's the case, I would suggest you start out with at least 1 per week, and then you up to 2. And if you're like really on a really high level, then maybe you could do 3, but for most of us, if we do them correctly, we do them properly, 2 is enough to wreck our spirit and to get the benefits, right? Because it's very demanding, or at least it should be if you're doing it correctly, right? What's the last thing now, guys? You've been with me for a while. What's the next step? Debrief, correct. We're gonna do an after action review, or a debrief as we call it, just to make sure we get all the benefits out of this as we can. Okay, so question number 1, what did I came here to do? Well, the first thing you came here to do was to go all out on your 5 rounds. You should have that in mind, but give yourself 10 seconds to figure out, why did you show up here today? What did you come here to do? 10 seconds. All right, now did you know why you came here? What was the goal? I want you to look at what actually happened. Did you stick to the plan? Did you go slower than expected? Did you give up? Did you follow the plan exactly? Were you even faster than you thought? Whatever it is, what actually happened? Give yourself 15 seconds, figure that out. Great job. Okay, now the question is, you know what you came here to do? You know what actually happened? What do you want to improve? How do you want to make things better? So 3 buckets, as always: continue doing, stop doing, and start doing. Give that another 20 seconds. If you have anything from these categories, write them down. Make sure you don't forget them, because that'll be a waste of our workout here. Okay, so for example, what I'm going to continue doing is that I'm going to continue focusing on my tools and implementing them when I feel that there's a need for it. I did that pretty good today. That's what I'm going to continue doing. Things that I'm going to stop doing is I'm going to stop thinking about what's the next thing coming up. I lost track of that sometimes, and I just need to keep focusing on the tools. Right? So, all right, guys, today's Unbreakable Mind 44 VO2 Max, aka cardio, is done. It's one of the most important sessions of the week and of your life. So keep doing this with high quality, preferably with a day's rest before, if you were into rest, which I've stopped doing now. Other than that, stick around for a little bit of a debrief, hang out after this. But the exercise and the Unbreakable Mind workout is done for today. See you on Thursday. For those of you guys who haven't been with us before, you can go to unbreakablemind.co and check out what the heck this is all about. It's a pretty cool place if you want to get physically and mentally stronger, and you want to learn how to develop your team, your family, your friends, your coworker. This is the place to be. So, see you guys. Bye-bye. Whatever you do, train is right.